can see me. I don't know if you guys can see me because I'm like far away. But anyway, so this is going to be for the Libra full moon, which is also known as the pink moon. Um, so I think this is the second full moon we've had within this month, if I'm not mistaken. So powerful energy. Um, I have a spread that I've created that I'm going to use specifically for this reading. So let's go ahead and do it. And this is for love. This is a love energy. Libra is Libra rules the seventh house, which is partnerships and connections and things like that. It can also be the house of marriage. So this moon may be specifically effective in different areas for everybody, differently for each and every one of you. Depending on where Libra is in your chart, you can see how this full moon is going to affect you, or where in your chart Libra falls, because that was, or in your house, what house Libra falls in on your zodiac chart. If you guys have your birth time, the more accurate, the more better, obviously. But I'm all over the place. So I wrote down some notes as well of what I've been picking up on. So I've been doing research on the moon as well. So with this this moon energy, this can represent like long-lasting impacts in your life, specifically when it comes to your partnerships. So when I say partnerships, I don't mean just specifically love. It can represent obviously friendships, business ships, family, friends, that type of thing. So the notes that I picked up, or the message that I picked up that I wrote down in my notes, this energy is highly emotional. And I know this for a fact because this morning I was kind of tripping. I wouldn't say I was emotional. It was more like mentally frustrated, like very like stuck, and what's going on, like what's the deal. And I talked to one of my friends today and she was telling me that she just was like emotional, just started crying out of nowhere. So this energy is highly charged, and like I said, depending on where you are in your chart, it will kind of bring a lot of intense emotions out of you, especially in balance. You know, Libra represents the scales, the Mayat principle. So that's another thing. I also feel though that you will be manifesting very rapidly, and a lot of like magical serendipitous type of things. Like this is the time for manifestation. I know it sounds like stupid or whatever, but congratulations to my grandma. My grandma got a new car today, and I think she's been wanting this car for a minute. Maybe not the specific car, but like the same. I don't know too much about cars, but like, what do you call it? I don't know, whatever. So she actually ended up getting something that I believe is like a better model of what she wanted, and I think it's 2017 or something. I don't know. I think it was more above her expectations, and usually that's what these manifestations are about. Like you might have like a specific expectation, but the universe just surprises you and over exceeds your expectations, if that makes sense. Other things have been manifesting for me too, like, but these things have been coming to me in my dreams. Like I had a dream that I would think something and then somebody in my environment would say it, or I would ask for something and it would immediately just pop up. It was weird. So I think this is the time of heavy manifestation, especially with it being a full moon. Full moons are meant for manifesting, but they're also meant for releasing. It's like an energy of completion, culmination type of energy. But for some reason, I just feel like things are happening at a very rapid pace. Another thing that I was picking up on is to meditate on your imbalances. Like, what is it that may be causing you to imbalance? Like, get down to the root of it. So, for instance, why am I frustrated mentally? Why am I emotional? Getting down to the root of that, because you want to find balance within yourself. And I feel like this full moon may trigger the things that are imbalanced so that you can get back to balance, right? Also reflecting upon the relationships around you. Some people may already be doing this, Does this relationship, romantically, friendship wise, whatever, does this or that person serve me? It's telling you to look at all of your connections and what changes do you need to make. I had this revelation last night with a family member. Like, I was triggered. I'm not gonna lie, I was very triggered by this specific family member, and it kind of clicked in my mind of what changes I need to make in relation to this dynamic. So I would definitely pay attention to that. Another thing is, I also feel a lot of people collectively will be getting real with themselves when it comes to the things or the people they have in their environment. Um, your connections to those close to you. Like I said, whatever type of connection, relationship, romantic, friendship wise, family, it doesn't matter. Alright, so let's get into the reading. I'm going to use an oracle deck first, and I will be also using my tarot deck, the Golden Universal Tarot, the Gitia deck. So I'm going to use this. Alright, so before we start this reading, Most High God asks for nothing but love, light, truth, and clarity. I appreciate you, and I appreciate this energy that we are in, this magical, beautiful energy that we are in, this time of revelation, this time of balance and harmony and completion and brand new energy. I thank you for the things that we are releasing that no longer serves us, and to be able to see what it is that no longer serves us in order for us to walk a new path, to become a new person, release whatever is within the self that no longer serves us. I thank you for the relationships and the connections that you are bringing together. I also thank you for the relationships that are being removed and released out of our life, for they were here for a divine purpose. Whoa. All-knowing one, the burning fire, the source of all. I'm going to put these to the side. Well, let me show you the cards so you can see. So, all-knowing one, the burning fire, and the source of all. So, yeah, I'm going to put these to the side, like I said. Hold on. Okay. Ask for divine protection surrounding this reading, Most High God. I call to the Archangel Michael as well to double surround and protect this reading with his loving light and his protective energy, and to block out and curb and send back to wherever the negative energies come from. Any lower vibrational energies, intentions, focuses, feelings, emotions, whatever outside energy that's not supposed to be here during this reading, that it's a distraction, that could be a deception as well, to be blocked out at this time. Please block these energies out. And I also ask that I be present fully in this reading in order to obtain the messages in which the Most High God has for me, the ancestors, the guardians of this universe has for the collective who is meant to hear this message. I also ask that my ego be casted aside during this reading as well. Thank you. Okay. So the first thing that we're going to look at is what is out of balance in your life, and if you have a romantic interest, or if it's a family member as well, anyone that's of a connection, any important connection that is on your mind, that you were involved with, actually involved with, where you guys are involved with each other, you know about each other, you've had contact and interaction. This is your friend, this is your family member, this is maybe a co-worker that you deal with on a daily basis. This is a romantic interest that you deal with on a daily basis, or this is your partner that you are with. That's what this is intended for. Not so much as someone who doesn't know about you, or someone that may not even want nothing to do with you, but you're like, it's not for that. Not unrequited love energies, Most High God. Alright. What is out of balance in the viewer? And what is out of balance in the other individual in question? Two cards came out. Our enemy, the time of death. So whoever, you could take whatever energy may be for you and the other person. You know, if that doesn't resonate, then that may be for them. So you have our enemy, the time of death, which is rebirth and transformation. Also, I feel like this is Kali energy. So there's something that's being destroyed. It seems to be the thing that is imbalanced, out of balance rather, is for one of these individuals is they're refusing to destroy and release what needs to be let go of. It's like these identities, these false identities, because it says the time of death. So this is a time of rebirth and transformation. It's time for something to be released. And I feel like there's a lot of influence on this, whoever this specific energy I'm reading for right now. What's causing this out of balance is that they have too many different interferences. They have too many different opinions coming from outside sources. This person has a lot of energy that they've taken on. This person, this could be generational energies. Like I said, this is also different identities. This could be wearing different masks for different people, whether that be to fit in, whether that be because they feel like that's what's best. You know, when you go into a certain, you know, when you go to work, you have a certain, not facade or persona, but in a workplace, you do have to conduct yourself in a certain way. When you're with your family, you conduct yourself in a certain way. When you're with certain friends, you conduct yourself in a certain way. So I feel like this person, but what they're doing is out of balance, is that they're not doing it to, in a balanced way. They're doing it in a way that's not truthful to themselves. They're being inauthentic with this. And I feel like they might tend to care too much about what other people think about them. So they're not completely themselves, and I feel like this has a lot to do with upbringing, traditions, and programming and things like that. This isn't like self sufficient. It's not independence. So that's what's causing out of balance, and whoever this person is I'm picking up on, and whoever the other party is I'm picking up on. Our enemy card is what's out of balance is this person may be their own worst enemy, or they feel like everybody is against them. They could be like a very paranoid individual. Whoever this is I'm reading for, they might look at the world and look at the things in their own world and their own reality as if everything is just going against them, and everything and everybody is just not trustworthy. Everybody's the enemy, and it's essentially really what this is that you're your own worst enemy. Not to say that you don't have people that may not like you, or you know, energies or spiritual things that you're fighting up against. It doesn't mean that necessarily, but it's kind of like more so embracing those energies and claiming them and making them way more powerful and real than what they are, if that makes sense. Is there anything I may not have touched on with what's out of balance? The Two of Swords. For both parties, or one of the parties, is causing mental conflict. It's causing a lot of imbalance within the mind, a lot of overthinking, emotional imbalance. Yeah, so Spirit is trying to balance these energies out between both parties, because that could be where the conflict is coming from between both people. Maybe there's miscommunication, there's misunderstandings between you and others at this time. It's like you're on one end of the tunnel and the other person on the other end, and you're trying to like yell, but the other person can't hear you. I don't know why that metaphor came out, but that's what I heard. Okay. How is this affecting both parties individually? How does these imbalances, can you go into how, kind of already touched on it being a little bit mental, but how are these imbalances affecting the one party and the other party? Sacrificial offerings beyond scripture. Okay. How is it affecting other parties? I feel that obviously there's a sacrifice that needs to be made. Something needs to be given up in order for there to be growth. And I feel like the person that feels attacked, who feels like the world is against them and they question themselves, I don't know if somebody's questioning their sanity or they feel very paranoid, they feel like they can't trust anything or anyone. The world is just like just against them. I feel like this person has a lot of spiritual protection around them already. This looks like ancestral energy, and maybe people in your life that have your best interest. It's like you need to start focusing, whoever this individual is I'm picking up on, you need to start seeing the people that actually are there for you and actually do care for you, and pay attention to that rather than those that may talk bad about you or focusing on who may not like you or who may be against you, because it's kind of like it's an assumption. And if it is people that may not like you or may be treating you badly, not to focus on those people, and know that you are spiritually protected, whoever this energy is I'm picking up on. For the other person, how is this affecting them? Beyond the scripture, I feel like what's affecting them is they're not sticking to their divine order, the plan that the Most High God has for them, their connection to source. It's like this man, it's like a spiritual guide or something up here, and there's a cord that's connecting that that being that's floating on a lotus in his solar plexus. There's a cord from this lotus into his solar plexus. So someone does not have that confidence in their divine source, which they don't have confidence in themselves. They kind of need validation. They need people to coddle them. They need people to validate them in order for them to feel good about themselves or the decisions that they make. They're not going according to their divine order, their divine plan. That they're not being authentic. That's how this is affecting them. And like I said, the most important thing is that it's affecting their connection to source. Is there anything that I may have not touched on? The Two of Wands and the King of Cups. So someone is having imbalances with their emotions too. They don't really know how to channel this energy in a grounded way. They may be, it's time to level up emotionally. So maybe someone is releasing their emotions, they're purging out their emotions, because now they're taking on a new way of handling their emotions. They're more open and more vulnerable as opposed to being closed off. Or maybe if they're too open, too vulnerable, too exposed, they're learning to build boundaries or whatever else is going to cause them to be more balanced. But how can they find balance? What can you do to find balance? These two individuals, what can they do, Most High God, to find balance during this full moon? What can they do? Fall from grace was another one. I feel like this is the people pleaser one, whoever this person is. Determination. Alright. So what can you do? So for the person that's very paranoid and doesn't feel supported and questions whether or not they are loved and cared for, or just feels like it's just them, you have to have that determination to keep moving forward, to be your own fighter, to be your own warrior, and not in an egotistical way like, oh, you know, I'm going to seclude myself, F everybody, I don't trust you, I don't trust this person, blah, blah, blah. Not in that essence. But know that you also have the spiritual support and backing. Move and walk forward knowing that you're protected. Knowing that even in the spirit realm and even in the physical realm, you have people that got your back. You might have people that's praying for you spiritually. You might have spiritual, you know, very spiritually in tune family members or friends that pray for you, that set out good intentions, that want the best for you, whether they realize they're doing this or not. You have people that are willing to support you more than those that don't. And I feel that when you're in this space, you're going to overcome these fears, you're going to overcome these battles, you're going to overcome these enemies that are against you, because you have to know your own power. And you see how he's dressed up in his armor, he's protected, and the most of his garments are, I'm seeing purple, I'm seeing red, I'm seeing green. So the third eye, the root chakra, the heart chakra, it's, you are protected, you are shielded. And psychically and spiritually, you're definitely protected. You just have to be confident in that and know that. Some of you guys may need to take the proper steps to protect yourself and guard your energy, whether that's through prayer, whether that's through meditation, visualization, whether that's through outside, things like spiritual, baths, or crystals, smudging, going to church, whatever you feel guided to do. The other energy I'm picking up on, this person fall from grace. So if you're this energy, or if this is the other person, just take whatever resonates. This person has to be okay with the fact that they're not going to appease everyone. You see how you have like a deity, and you have like a mortal woman next to him. Someone may be settling for a person that's not spiritually on their level, or I'm not just speaking of romantic energy, but this looks like a couple. So it's kind of like someone is trying to settle for someone that they've outgrown energetically and spiritually, and there's nothing wrong with that. And instead of being a sheeple and trying to follow along with people that may not even, because someone has this, whoever this person is, they got a spiritual calling, a special calling on their life that they haven't fully stepped into. They haven't fully embraced that, and I feel like they're settling with people, or they're surrounding themselves in an environment with others that have not either caught up to their spiritual past, or it's just we met for that time and we had to go through whatever we needed to go through, or I have to limit my time with you because our energies just don't match, because I'm at a different space, I'm at a different level. This person in this card, I feel, is afraid to really embrace their divinity, and they're trying to play themselves short and small, and that's not what's going to happen. It's going to become too uncomfortable, I think, to play that role. If this is a partnership, a romantic one, or maybe even it's friends or family, they could be jealous of you if this is you or the person that you're asking about. People in their environment can be jealous of them because they are evolving and they are elevating spiritually. This person. Alright, you have the King of Cups again and the Hermit card. So, yeah, someone needs to go within and really get real with what they're feeling. Because I feel like you'll learn a lot when you go within, and you'll find a lot of clarity and information when you just take time to go within yourself. I also feel like some people are unhappy with where their lives are right now in certain relationships. Like, they're not happy with certain connections in their life. And like I said, it's not just romantic. Okay. So what can both individuals do to improve the relationship with themselves and others, including each other, if it calls for that? How can they improve their relationships that is of the highest good of not only themselves but the others involved? What can both individuals do? See? Pretenders. Somebody is trying to fit in. Master of Mystics. So, for one, whoever is the person that is appeasing everyone and trying to like fit in, because that peacock is in this card. The peacock was in Fall from Grace, like right here in the corner in the cut. And then in this card, he's right here. So this pretender, this person that's trying to fit in with people that they don't resonate with anymore, I feel like how to improve these relationships is to be real and to be honest. And if that means you have to stand on your own 2 feet, whoever this person may be, then oh well, it is what it is. Because again, there's a specific calling, and you have to adhere to that, if that makes sense. You have to follow that. You have to step into that divinity. Her outfit is so dope. Like, I wish I could find something like this. Like yeah, her outfit is dope. Anyway, so Master of Mystics. Master of Mystics is the person that is like at odds with everything, kind of feels down on their luck, feeling like their enemy. See, the enemies, they can't touch you. Whoever this person is that I'm speaking to, the enemies in the back, they can't catch up. This person is illuminated, they're enlightened, they got protection, they have direction, they have a purpose, and there's flames burning on this. It looks like flames. I think that's her garment, but it looks like flames. So I'm still taking it as like nothing can stop you. Like whoever is against you, whoever might be thinking negatively about you, saying things behind your back, if that is happening, if there's spiritual beings that are trying to keep you stuck and keep you down, keep you sad, keep you depressed, keep you confused, conflicted, upset, it's not going to work. Okay? It's not going to work. You're being divinely protected, whoever this person is. So how to improve your relationships? You got to walk in your divinity too. You got to own, like I might have fear. I'm a human. But I'm stepping into my divinity. I'm trusting myself. I know my power. I know that I got spiritual guides and protection, God behind me. And whoever is against me, you can't come, you can't touch me. There's nothing you can do. And when you know this, the more you're going to focus on the people that actually have your back. And sky's the limit from there. Like, let the peasantry go, basically. Is there anything that I have not touched on when it comes to how to improve connections with themselves and with others? Most importantly, with yourself. You got to know who you are. And I'm saying this to myself too, but you got to know who you are at this stage of your life, because we grow, like we become new people with every evolution and process. You have the hermit, or the hierophant, and the lovers. So you have to make that commitment and that choice to yourself and that love for yourself. And when you do that, then those commitments and relationships that reflect the love and respect you have for yourself will also show you that same love and respect, and vice versa for you towards others. So you're going to focus on more of those people in your surroundings that are of this energy rather than those who are not. Because sometimes we like to focus on the wrong things and the wrong people when the good people and the good things are right in front of us or around us. But we still want to dwell on things that don't matter. And Spirit's saying, like, when you get your mind right within yourself and you honor your own self, you're going to start to see those that are in that same frequency and energy. And sometimes we can't see it because we're not in that space to even receive. Does that make sense, y'all? I know I'm not like live. I'm unlisted live streaming, but whoever's watching this, whenever they're meant to watch it, I hope that makes sense. All right. What needs to be released on both ends? What needs to be released this full moon on both ends? What needs to be released? Gates to hell. They got some crazy shit. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Gates to hell. Spark of splendor. So I take it that the gates to hell is the person with a negative mindset about themselves and their environment and their life and others, that when you play the game with the peasants and you play that game with your ego, your fears, the lower vibrational energies, you're going to keep yourself stuck in that same energy. Your spirit guides, they watch you, you know, they're watching your every move. They're paying attention to you, but it's like, he or she, like, she got to learn. He got to learn on his own. I can't do anything really too much to step in until they get the hint that this is an ongoing thing. And you're not going to win in this energy. So why even dwell in it? Why even place yourself in that position of this lower vibrational energy? So that's what needs to be released. Like, stop playing a part or a role in these lower vibrational energies. And I need to learn this for myself too, that sometimes, like, not everything needs a response. When people say messed up things, sometimes you just gotta be like, you're stupid, and keep it moving. Like, don't even say anything to them. Don't even try to state your claim. Just keep it moving. Or if you have negative thoughts about yourself or about a situation, like, tell yourself, you know what, I'm not even gonna let that get to me because I don't know the full story, and I'm just gonna keep it moving, basically. Spark of splendor. For the other person that I feel like is the appeaser, the people pleaser, I feel those that matter are going to support them and care about them, and those that don't, they're just going to be minding their own business. So you see how some people are watching this person like do this magic trick, or this like, oh, he's floating on a, what is this, a like six-headed, seven-headed snake or whatever. Like, they're able to maintain their balance through the BS, or they're not trying to charm us anymore. Like, some people are not going to care about that. And the real ones are also, another thing is, they're not going to be turned on by this pretentious energy. They're just going to turn away. So it's kind of like a double meaning with this card. So whoever this reading, this message specifically is for, yeah, I feel like the people that matter are going to see them for who they are, and those that don't, they're just going to be like, they're just going to fall away. And as long as being in this state of this pretentiousness, the ones that really truly are meant to be in your life, they can't see you and you can't see them because you're not in your truth. And those that are just a part of that game and the falsities, they're going to continue to be comfortable in that because they're not being authentic within themselves as well. So this is the energy that needs to be released for whoever this person is. Okay? Anything that I did not tap into, I'm going to look at like where this connection is with each other, because it's kind of like individually. Anything that I may not have touched on that needs to be released for both individuals. The Strength card, the Moon, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Ace of Wands. So, I just see this energy like of trusting in the unknown, like to have patience with yourself. You really have to release your control over a false sense of identity, whether it be the ego getting the best of you. Like, both parties need to trust in the path, in their direction, and they really need to tap into this full moon energy, or tap into their emotions rather, to find that clarity so that they know what their next step is, or they know how to handle these things that need to be released. But they have to have patience and compassion for the self. All right. What are both individuals giving birth to during this full moon? What are they manifesting, rather? What are they creating and manifesting individually within this full moon? I think it stopped. It froze. No. What happened?